I applied for the TY Danjuma scholarship and I made it through round one, round two, round three, and the final round I got rejected. But I still think that it's one of the best funding opportunities available to African students pursuing an MBA at a top global business school. The TY Danjuma Foundation scholarship is designed specifically for students admitted to a top 10 globally ranked business school. And even though I did not get in, I made it to the final round, which means I went through every single stage of this process. So I'm going to walk you through exactly what it looked like so you could learn a thing or two. The application opens in June and you submit your name, your nationality, your business school, your enrollment year, your offer letter, your CV, and this is the most important part, a clear breakdown of your budget and your financial shortfall. You need to be honest and be exact. I applied on the last day, which was June 30th, and 7 days later, I received an email saying I had moved to the next stage. For stage 2, there was a pre-interview questionnaire with about 5 questions asking things like, why did you choose your business school and the country is located? What are your career goals? What would this scholarship mean to you? Walk us through your budget and your shortfall, and what do you think are some of the biggest problems in the world? And that last question tells you something about what the scholarship is looking for. They're not just thinking about funding students. They're looking for people who are impact driven or who are thinking about impact. I submitted the questionnaire and I got shortlisted for a first round interview. But before that interview, I also had to submit another interview form where I had to provide a detailed breakdown, line by line, exactly how I was funding my MBA, where the gap was. I also had to submit a copy of my student visa as well. Here's where it got personal. My visa came through on the very last day of the deadline. I remember I had taken so much time to work on the document and I was just sitting and waiting and praying for my visa to come out. And the moment it arrived, I just sent everything on that last day and I got the interview date. The first round interview was conversational. I had 2 interviewers. They asked questions to align what I had already submitted, my goals, my shortfall, my story. I also asked them questions. I wanted to know whether beyond the funding, there was any structure for following up with TY Danjuma, with TY Danjuma alumni, whether scholars stayed connected to the foundation, after their programs. So ask intelligent questions. It matters. A few weeks later, and by this point, I was very close to my time of leaving Nigeria, my departure date. I think it was 2 weeks from flying out of Nigeria, and I was shortlisted for the final round. The final round was a 5-minute presentation with PowerPoint slides and things like how would this MBA shape my future, what were my short and long term goals, and how I would use this to create an impact in Africa. I prepared those slides and I went into that interview, and the week I was leaving for France, I received the email that I had not been selected. But here's what I think, and I say this with no bitterness. I already had a full tuition scholarship worth 99,000 euros. I was applying for the TY Danjuma scholarship to cover, part of my living expenses and settling expenses. I'm sure there were people in that final round that did not have, that did not have their tuition covered at all. There were people who really needed it in a way that was more urgent than mine. And honestly, I had already won. And if you're applying, here's what I want you to know, because I'm sharing this because of you. I want you to get the TY Danjuma scholarship. You need to know that the timeline is tight. If you're a September intake, the application opens in June, means you're already thinking about your visa, your flight, your accommodation, and some people receive the scholarship money after they have already arrived in their country. So you need to plan with that reality in mind. It's almost like you need to find a way to kind of sort out a lot of things even before that money comes in, if it comes true. And your financial gap needs to be really exact. Do not approximate. Prepare a clear table. Show very clearly what you need the money for, what it's for, down to the T. And reach out on LinkedIn to people who actually received the scholarship. They post about it. They will talk to you. Their perspective on crossing that final round is something that I cannot give you because I didn't cross it. Your journey will look different from mine, but at least you know what the road looks like.